Hi everyone and welcome to another card tutorial. In today's card tutorial I am going to use the What's a Kraken stamp set from the Under the Sea stamp bundle pack, and I'm going to make a Halloween card. So we're going to start by stamping her up. I am going to use the Momenta Tuxedo Black for this because I'm going to have like ordinary outlines, and Momenta is my favorite Copic safe ink. I have bought a bunch in previous years that I just get disappointed with because I have to wait for it to dry so long. Memento, it dries pretty quickly, so that's kind of nice. So I'm using the black ink. I'm using a stamp positioner because all my blocks are a little bit small or too big. And then I'm using my stamp chamois to carefully remove the pupil because I wanted to make a little bit different in the coloring with the pupil. I accidentally removed some of the eyelashes and I forgot completely throughout the whole video to actually fix that. But I kind of like how it looks anyhow, so I'm not that disappointed of that. If you want to see this video in real time, so see the coloring in real time, I do have another video for just the coloring where I go through all the details about the coloring. That will be linked in the description down below, but also in a card here somewhere up in the right corner. I think there's a question mark that you can click on, and also, or exclamation mark maybe, that you can click on. It will also be at the end of the video. I am trying a new skin color. I'm kind of trying to get a little bit more skin colors under my wings so that I have some more to choose from. I picked this one up on Pinterest, and it's just E33, E35 and V17 with a little bit of R22 and R20 for some blushes and such. I do color it with about 3 layers on the face to actually get the dimension, where every layer I make the shadow area a little bit wider than I did in the previous layer. With the darkest color it's really just a smudging, and with the lightest color and mid color it's a little bit more, and that's a way to kind of counter that I didn't have like 5 colors to do the skin with. For her body I'm using a lilac combination or a purple combination. The V09 is very, very, very dark, so I'm actually making it 2 layers, where the second layer I'm not using the V09, and that helps to blend the V09 into the rest of the colors, and also helps to build up that dimension, that similar dimension to the face. Also underneath I'm just using 1 color because it's such detailed and such a small area, so I can get away just using 1 color, so I did. For the hair I'm using a very, very light purplish color. I was going with a 3 color combination, but then I kind of wanted a little bit more of that contrast that I love, so I added the V28 for the darkest layer. So that's a very quick and simple walkthrough over the coloring. As I said, if you want to see this in a slower pace, you can find it in the other video. So yeah, pretty simple, pretty quick. I kind of like it, and it's very Halloween. It's very Halloween. I like making Halloween cards. What kind of seasonal cards do you make? Do you make Halloween? I don't celebrate Halloween, but I love cute and cuddly Halloween things, so I have a lot of them. Then I'm gonna use my handy dandy cutter bee scissors, which are my absolute favorite scissors when it comes to fussy cutting. It makes it so easy. They cut like butter. I move the paper. I make sure that I don't have a lot of paper around the character, so I kind of pre-cut around it, and then I go in and make the details. It makes fussy cutting a lot easier. And most of Stamp Annie's products have outline dies nowadays. I don't think this set has outline dies though, but most of them have outline dies. So if you don't like fussy cutting, you can always buy the dies. I'm using a little knife to just cut out those little areas that I couldn't get in with the scissor. For the background, I have cut a little piece with a stitched banner die, just a smudge and smaller than a base. It comes from the A2 stackables from My Favorite Things. It's my go-to die for just base layers. And then I'm blending some, I almost said wicked violet, but that's not the word, wilted violet, on top of the Crocodile Tim Holtz collection. What is it called? Stencil. That's the word. Stencil. I am doing a little bit of a kind of spotlight stencil. I felt it was a little too high contrast in the stencil, so I'm going back over with the wilted violet just to tone down the stencil against the paper. Really liked how that looked. I kind of move the character in over and over just to make sure that I place things in a good way. So here I'm going to place the sentiment, which is Halloween greetings, and that is from one of the MFT stamp sets that I used for this. They will all be linked in the description down below, but it is Which Way is the Candy? The sentiment comes from. I have a lot of Halloween products with small stamps, so because the Under the Sea stamp bundle set really isn't a Halloween set, it didn't come with Halloween sentiments, so I thought, hey, I'm gonna use these. I'm also using that teeny tiny little bat from the Fabulous Friends stamp set, also by MFT, My Favorite Things, to add a little bat. Now you can use like bat sequences if you have that, or any kind of bat that you find in any kind of your stamp sets. It's just that I really liked the look of this little bat, and I had it. So I decided to add 5 little bats around her to just, to ground her in some way. I started adding little details. I felt the card was a little bit naked with just that spot. It would work perfectly with just that spot. You could just stop where you have that little blended spotlight with the, you could just do the blended spotlight without the stenciling. Or you could just add the stenciling and blending on top of that to add the spotlight. You could stop after adding the little almost said butterfly, but bats that I'm adding around her. So there is so many places where you could stop doing the rest of the things, where you can say, okay, now I feel it's enough. But I have this idea in my head, really, like, this is what I want to do, this is how I want to do it. So for once it came together. I made a card yesterday which didn't come together, so I have to redo that one, but this was really, really fun. I'm adding some 3M foam tape on the back side. This gives it a natural little shadow around the character, and makes it pop a little bit. Then I'm going to use these, I think it's like violet sequins. I'm gonna put, they are going to be linked in the description down below, so you can always find them there. They are Stamp Anniething, and I really, really like them. They are really, really cute, or really simple. You can use them in shakers, you can use them in basically anything, but I decided I wanted to add them here. Now, a little note, I tried one glue first, which was the Simon Says Stamp glue, and it dries probably much slower than the glue that I'm using now, and it didn't really work for me because I'm very impatient. So the glue I ended up using is the Multimedia Matte by Ranger. It is my absolute favorite, Multimedium Matte. Again, everything is linked in the description as usual. And then I just went in and added the little ones, things I was thinking about was uneven groupings. So your eye is kind of drawn to uneven groupings. You like to have uneven things. Even things isn't as comfortable for us as human beings as uneven things. So I have 5 bats, and then the groupings of the sequences I kept to 1 or 3 in the groupings, just to make it feel a little bit like give little triangles out of the sequence. Because the sequence stands up a little bit, the bats, I couldn't count them as one of the details, so instead I just added like 3 little sequins per little thing, and that kind of makes it a little bit more comfortable to the eye. To finish it off, I'm actually going in and just stamping on the inside. This is from the fabulous Friends stamp set, A Ghost Hug for You. You can feel it. Can't feel it, but it's there. Very on time. And I add a little one of those bats to finish it off. And that was actually the card for today. Pretty simple, pretty quick to do, and I kind of like it. I'm actually really stoked over it, so I'm hoping that you really like it too, because that would be so awesome. If you do, please thumbs it up, leave a comment, tell me, do you celebrate Halloween? What kind of cards do you want me to make? Do you have any themes of cards that you want me to make? And maybe I can find some of those. If you want to see more videos like this, just hit that subscribe button, and thank you again for watching. It means the world to me. I will see you later. Bye!